If you're frustrated because your back pain continues to return even after good medical care, massage work, or even a targeted exercise program, then it's time to take a look at your movement environment. What I mean by movement environment is the combination of the various movements that you typically do in a day. So for instance, if, like most of us modern humans, you spend a lot of time sitting and working with your arms out in front of you, that creates a pretty narrow movement environment, and that creates trouble for your lower back. But before we dive into how to fix that, here's the disclaimer. Similar to the way that animals adapt to their environment for survival, our human bodies adapt to the movements and positions we repeat the most. So for instance, what we commonly call computer posture with the rounded shoulders and forward head is nothing more than an adaptation to sitting in that position for hours on end. Think about how often that gets reinforced. From driving to texting, even to eating, we're using that same posture an awful lot every day. The problem is that adaptation causes more pain. It hurts. Similarly, stiff hips and stiff ankles from a lot of prolonged sitting causes pain and discomfort when walking and climbing stairs. So we've got to do something to stop that. Most of us, when we hurt, turn to a practitioner we can trust. Maybe it's a doctor or a physical therapist, a chiropractor, someone like me, or a massage therapist, all of whom can help. So don't stop doing that. But for lasting results, to keep the pain away long term, you must address your movement environment. Otherwise, you're just putting that body of yours, the one you just paid for all that good work to be done to, right back in the same positions and movement patterns that made it hurt in the first place. So, how do you solve this problem of a narrow or restricted movement environment? I'm going to give you 3 steps. Step 1, make a movement inventory. Now, if you've ever done a diet diary or a diet recall, this is a very similar idea. Basically, you're going to write down all the movements that you do, or at least describe them, for 3 days straight. For instance, you might write down you get out of bed and then you lean over the sink to brush your teeth, and then you go downstairs and you sit at the table to eat your breakfast for 10 minutes. And then after you're done eating breakfast, you scroll on your phone checking emails from 10 minutes. You get the idea. Step number 2 is to go through that completed movement inventory and start circling movements that are similar or repeated a lot. You're going to see some themes in there, and it's good to pick up on those. For instance, you might find that in any given day, all of your sitting at the computer is combined with your food preparation tasks, and then you combine that to your afternoon bike rides. That's a whole lot of leaning forward and working with your hands out in front of you, right? Step number 3 is where you start adding in some variety. Now, ideally, the variety comes in movements that are the complete opposite of the ones that you find yourself doing the most. For instance, if we're continuing with our sitting and working with the hands in front of us theme, then movements that are the opposite might be movements that get you to bend backwards. So gentle back extension type exercises or movements, even lying down on your belly or doing more standing up and walking around might be an example of how to unfold yourself. Could you add pulling and reaching activities in to give your shoulders a little bit more variety than having your hands out in front of you? Hopefully you get the idea. The bottom line is the human body was designed to move in a variety of ways. Modern technology, though very helpful, has caused us to markedly shrink our movement environment, which has led us to doing too much repetition of too few movements and ultimately to pain. So if you want to free yourself of the chronic lifestyle aches and pains that come with that shrunken movement environment, The trick is to add variety back into your movement day. I hope you found this helpful, and if you did and you want to learn more about how you can solve back pain through gentle exercise and movement, then be sure to click the link in the description below this video and save your seat for my next free live online workshop, Unlocking Back Pain with Exercise. Can't wait to see you there.